This. Hey, everybody, the recording is in progress. So we're setting up your meeting for Facebook. There we go. Facebook is up. We're all going. We're up and going. Oh, let me see here. Is this nice and even? Okay, good. Hi, everybody. How are you? Um, Let me see here. Um, you know what? Well, that's fine. That's fine. Wait a minute. Hold on a second. Let me take care of something here. I just want to bring myself down, up. Oh, that's too much down. There we go. There we go. See? That nice? Now I'm right where I should be. Anyway, hello everybody. It's Monday. It's time for the pop-up show, something that's one of my favorites. And you should just see the people that are here. Look, watch. I'll show you. Uh, let's see here. Marjorie isn't in yet. Oh, Marjorie is. Yes, there's Marjorie. Hello,
Hey,
dear. How are you? Uh,
okay.
there's Charlene. There is Len LaFrisco. There's Andrew Deutsch. Hey, there's Edward Berger.
That's right.
That's right. John Ewing, Francine Witt, and Scott Boddicker. So far, so good. Okay, how are you? Oh,
Good.
nice to see you. Did you all have a good, happy New Year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody looks like they were excited about that. We did a show on New Year, and believe it or not, it got a huge audience for us.
Oh, wow.
A huge audience. It's amazing. Um,
Define huge.
Over 1,000 people.
Wow.
Yeah, which is pretty large for us. We usually get 300 people, I guess, but not for this. This usually gets more than any other. So probably because you're just such a wonderful group of people,
Yeah, that's it.
so likable and everything else. Anyway, so anyway, that's it, and I'll see you again next week. Okay.
Hi.
Oh, listen, we're being joined by Mike Chisholm.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Who?
Oh, everybody, we're in mourning for Mike Chisholm. Wait a minute, wait till Mike gets in here. Here comes Mike. Oh, Mike.
In morning.
Oh, Mike,
God, this is gonna be good.
we're so sad for you
Really? Why?
because of your prime minister.
Oh, I think you'll find. Well, the part of the country that I live in right now, there's a lot of people who are celebrating and hoping that they don't bring a new leader in, so a new government can come in.
Yeah, yeah.
I heard he got a job at Abercrombie and Fitch.
He'll land on his feet. He'll land on his feet. He'll be fine.
Well, of course. That's a fairly wealthy family, isn't it?
It's all set to be done.
Well, I don't know the answer to that.
Wait a minute.
It's not
Somebody has our audio up. Who?
us being a monopoly. We can, how do you monopoly?
Oh.
You don't really own anything to begin with.
I know. There's 1,000 radio stations.
Yeah. Okay.
Anybody?
Everybody?
Who's that?
Huh?
Who has their audio up?
Can't tell.
Put on the earphones.
Nobody's lighting up.
If you want to.
Paul is lighting up.
Wait a minute.
I'll talk
Oh, wait a
closer
minute.
to the mic. They want you into the
How's
microphone.
that?
No, it's not here.
Wow.
That's good?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I don't know. Maybe let me just check something here a second.
This is a great pleasure. I've never, ever, in a studio, interviewed a president of the United States.
Oh, wait a minute. It's what you're playing. Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
In fact,
let me do
you
something.
actually wished me a happy birthday. It was
Let
my
me do
birthday.
this.
My producer
Let me
told
do
me,
this. Here.
happy birthday. And I said, I finally got my tax
What?
money.
That's
The
our,
president
that's
wished
the
me
interview I did with the president.
I want to talk about the book in a while, but first, there's a lot of stuff people.
I think I'm in the Matrix.
Yeah.
Let me start off by saying,
Wait a minute.
secondly, let me say,
Everybody mute yourself right now. Everybody mute
well, I have always felt this way.
Yeah.
As an American Jew,
Everybody's muted. The sound was coming across from one of you people. So let me get rid of it. these.
Hey, Alex, the green box for some reason was coming around Paula's window, but she obviously doesn't have any idea what's going on there. If something's happening on her computer.
Okay, everybody, you can turn yourself back on, but I think
You might have a window that's playing something, a tab on your
They agreed to
Chrome
allow,
that's playing something. Yeah,
Yeah.
Paula.
well, they agreed.
Are you talking to me?
Paula,
Yeah.
Paula, yeah, it's you, Paula.
Just for Gaza, where's?
You
Yeah,
hear
it's
me?
you, Paul.
Check your tabs on your browser and see if you've got something open.
You got something open. Well,
All is gone.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
No, that wasn't the intent.
the more people you get, the more difficult it is to figure out who the hell it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Somehow that was Paula. Yeah, that was our Carter interview. Did you enjoy it? It's on our cabinet page.
Okay, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Paula's not back.
Well, I know Paula's not back because she realized it was her fault. Maybe she'll try again here.
She's hiding from the internet police.
Huh?
It's hiding from the Zoom police.
Yeah. By the way, Edward, I finally found.
Oh yeah, I got it. It looked very good.
Oh, I sent you the videos?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, all your video.
Yeah, yeah.
Of your time there. Okay. Because I found it and you look great. You
Good.
and you were very much a part of that. Oh, you're fine now, Paula. You're
That
fine.
That was so weird. I have no idea where that came from.
That was my interview on my cabinet page with President Carter. And somehow you were running it. I don't know how, but no, I was going to say to Edward Berger, you look like you were really participating in this.
Yeah.
You
Well,
were
that's
up
what they
there
that's what they want.
doing this. Oh,
Right.
they give you a speech about that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You're supposed to be so happy when somebody else gets called up. You should have mouthed, "Oh fuck."
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, that is really a show where if you're a part of the audience, chances are you're going to be seen at some point.
Yeah.
The other day I had a problem. The first day I had a little bit of a problem because the person who was up there was always blocking you.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, but do they assign your seat to you on that?
Yes, they tell you where to sit.
Yeah. By the way, in case people don't know, he goes out to California once a year to be on The Price is Right.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, how many years have you been doing it?
Oh, I started in '82.
Wow.
But
Every year.
I had to skip a couple of years, so I got to take care of my mother a couple of years, and then COVID, I had to skip a couple of years.
Yeah.
I want to go with you next year, Edward.
Yeah, uh-huh.
But you took a couple of years off to create COVID. It's your fault.
No.
Finally, we get to the bottom of this.
Hey, we thought it was China.
Yeah.
What's
It was all
your
on the burgers.
experience being there, Edward? What was do you have one or two favorite
Favorite what?
moments of being there?
Oh, yeah. Well, I was the one guy who gave the perfect bid in the showcase. I was there for that.
Nice.
Wow.
The perfect bid.
The
Yeah.
perfect one? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They were within what? They're within
It's-
what?
Well,
What?
he got it exact. Well, it's a long story. There's a documentary about that if you want to
Yep.
watch it.
Yep.
And I'm in it, by the way. I'm not in it. I'm in the background.
Yeah,
Wow.
right. If you were in it, you'd would have won the whole prize package.
Yeah.
You must be, you
So
must
what
be good
happened?
luck, 'cause
Is if you come within a certain amount of
Yeah. Right.
right, you get both showcases.
Right.
that happened on your Friday show, didn't it, Edward?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
How many cars did he win?
Oh yeah. No, I don't know.
You
What
must be
happens
good
if he
luck.
gets a perfect bid?
Well, no, there was this documentary. This guy, he got it. He was going around saying he got it, but it was really this guy in the audience who told him what to bid. You know,
Oh, really? Okay.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
this guy, the guy memorized. He made a list and he memorized all the prices.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, because they tend to give out the same sorts of
Yeah,
stuff for a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
There's a great documentary about the guy who cheated in England and won on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire,
Right.
and he kept getting things right,
Mm.
and he won $1 million. And they went back and listened to the shows, and there's somebody in the audience who, whenever he is, you got to pick between like
A, B, C, D.
A, B, C, D, who would like cough once if it were A, two if it were B, you know,
Nice.
and you could
Yeah.
hear them in the audience. So they arrested the guy. I don't know why they arrest him. It's a goddamn game show, for crying out loud. You know, it's not like you robbed a bank.
Yeah, you robbed the game show if you cheat.
But anyway, so do you do it almost the same time every year, or do you pick a
Yeah,
different?
it's usually in September or October.
Well, this time it was. Well, when was it?
When
Well,
it played.
I went in October this year because they were off in September.
Yeah, yeah. So you went in October,
Right,
and it
right,
didn't run till late December.
right, right.
Yeah. Okay. Do they always tell you what day the show is going to run?
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And do they give you anything like a parting gift for just being there?
They only have one door prize, which I never win. So
You never win that either. Boy, you're
No,
a loser.
yeah, yeah.
Well, how big was the door they gave away?
Oh wow, yeah.
It's hell taking it back to New York. Yeah.
That's right.
Plane.
It's not a carry-on door.
So they do have one little door prize for how many
Right.
people are there? About 200 maybe?
Well, yeah, about 200.
Yeah. And they give away one lousy stinking door prize.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
they
if you
should
don't
give you
count the
like,
people who get on stage, yeah.
do you get to keep your little badge that you wore?
Oh yeah, that the name tag you can keep. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do they write on the name tag, or do you?
No, they write on it.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Has to be legible.
Yeah.
They want it to be legible.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so well, congratulations for not winning anything again this year.
That okay.
Why do you go back to that show? I mean, why don't you say to yourself, I think this year Wheel of Fortune sounds like a good idea.
Well, I can't win anything on Wheel of Fortune.
But you never won anything on this.
Yeah, I know, but at least I have a chance of winning something.
Why couldn't you win on Wheel of Fortune? That's the dumbest game in American television.
They don't pull you out of the audience though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I see. How do they pick the people for Wheel of Fortune?
Oh, that you have to apply for.
I mean,
They
Oh,
give
you
you
would-
tests and
Okay,
You
so
have tests for what? Whether you can spin a goddamn wheel or not?
no, they give you those puzzles and you only put one or two letters in, you have to solve it. So,
So, Alex, when the cops pull you over and they make you do the alphabet backwards, they turn that into the show. And they determine
right.
the letters you get on Wheel of Fortune.
Well, here's the thing I don't understand. Why would they give you a test? Are they trying to figure out who has a possibility of not winning?
Well, yeah, they don't want anybody there, doesn't know how to play the game. Otherwise, it'd be boring.
I want some moron in there.
That'd be fun to be up there and go, okay, who's it now? Ryan Seacrest. It's his 7th job this year.
Yes.
But, Ryan, let me ask you one question, Ryan. What is that? How exactly is this game played? If you can't figure out how Wheel of Fortune is played, you're a real moron. Like, I often felt the people on Wheel of Fortune, there are 2 shows that are both Merv Griffin shows, and one is right after the other every night. And one is the stupidest, dumbest game on television, Wheel of Fortune, followed by, or before it, it depends on what market you're in. What do you call it?
Jeopardy.
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 Jeopardy, which is, you got to be a real,
Yeah.
it
Right.
makes you, that's the show that makes you feel like a moron,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And then you get the final Jeopardy, and it's, uh, years ago, I could have been on Jeopardy.
Wow.
Yeah, when I was working in New York the first time, and it wasn't a high-tech show like it is now with all the electronic boards and everything like that. The letters came down, they were in chalk practically. That's the way, you know. And I was invited to be on Celebrity Jeopardy, but I didn't want to do it, so I didn't do it.
Were you scared? Were you intimidated that you wouldn't look good on there?
I don't know. I felt I would do okay. In those days, it was pretty easy to answer the questions on that show, especially in those days when I had all my memory chips going in my head, you know.
If you won, would it have had to go to a charity or?
I think it would go to a charity. Yeah, that would have been what would happen there. And I said, I ain't doing anything for charity. I want money. Screw charity, I'm too young for that crap. I'll wait till I'm like in my 80s, then I'll think about giving some of it away. But anyway, how you doing, Paula?
Well, I think much better. I have no idea how that happened. I wanted to say, I don't know if Marjorie got back, but I wanted to say because she answered the phone, so she left the screen. But I just wanted to say I'm very, very happy to see her because I know that she's been feeling crappy.
Yeah, yeah. Which
Thank you,
in
Paula.
turn has made
Oh,
me
there
feel,
she is.
which,
I'm very relieved to see you.
yeah, which in
Thank you.
turn made me feel crappy. So,
Part of the deal.
and then I've got to be the good husband. Got to go get her hot, nourishing broth and crap like that. Was that our food already?
No, they just buzzed and there was nobody there.
Oh, really?
Uh-oh.
Could have been like a delivery for somebody in the building.
They'd call you if they couldn't deliver it.
Yeah.
We order our food out now. We order this place called Ray's. What is it? Not Ray's Pizza. What's the name of it?
Tonight?
I-
Sorry, I have to.
Yeah, it might be them. Might be our dinner.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Huh? Chuck E. Cheese. Right. No, it's I forget the name of it, but Bobby Slayton, my friend, recommended it as the best pizza in New York. So Marjorie buys it and says it is. It's incredible pizza. So, but they've got other stuff too. I get the chicken parmesan. Yeah. So anyway, and of course we already talked to Mr. Chisholm about, his leaderless country right now. Is it now technically leaderless for a while, or?
No, the way it works is in Canada, whichever party gets the most seats, their leader is the prime minister. So when he steps down, it means that the party is going to elect a new leader. That person will be the prime minister until an election happens. And they have to call an election by October of next year. So
yeah,
we'll see how much the Liberal
So
Party.
there's no vice prime minister or anything like that immediately,
No, no, it doesn't work.
It's like the British system, right?
Yeah, it's a parliamentary system.
Because, we have a prime minister here, or as we call it, miscongeniality.
Who's that, Melania?
No,
Elon.
That's not Melania. She doesn't seem too congenial, Yeah. Scott, you kind of nodded your head. You were like you were bothered by what we just said.
No, she's not. She doesn't seem very nice, and I'm glad I'm not married to her.
yeah.
Well,
Well,
he's not either.
I'm glad I'm not married to him. So,
Marriage in hell.
yeah, right. So anyway, you know what I love about, I got to tell you this. So there's this thing that happened on Bourbon Street last week, which was a terrible, terrible thing because that town is such a wonderful town to have a good time, and it's always celebrating, and it's and all of a sudden this thing happens. So what is their response to this thing happening? We're doubling our what do you call it, security. What? Why? Now? You know, it wasn't secure before, but the fact is that something happened, and they're doing the same thing at the Capitol today. They completely put a fence around the Capitol because you know how Democrats love to storm the Capitol. That's
They're
trouble, you know.
home smoking a doobie.
Yeah, right. It's not the lightning is not going to strike a second time. You don't have to go to that trouble, you know. So they put up the fence, and now they got to tear it back down, and it's ridiculous, you know. What was that, Marjorie? Was that our food yet?
I don't know. They rang once. I let them in. I waited. I thought maybe they're coming up on the elevator. They never did.
Mm-hmm.
You sure they weren't terrorists?
Probably.
Probably. And Vernon Nunn's down in Kentucky. If he just clicks in here, he should click in any moment.
He was in North Carolina last time, wasn't he? He was traveling.
Yeah, yeah, but Vernon hasn't popped up yet. So anyway, we just passed New Year's. We got all the holidays out of the way, and now we're back to just nothing happening much. So, how expensive was Christmas this year for you? Because you look like a lot of Gentiles who buy presents. You
I didn't spend a penny.
didn't spend a penny?
Not a penny.
Don't
Very
you have
little.
somebody to give a present to?
No.
Are
I
you
don't
married?
celebrate Christmas.
Are you married?
Yes,
You have a
Do you
wife?
have, do you have grandchildren? That's
I
the
do.
question. Do you,
My
Yeah.
wife handles all that.
Do you have any
ah,
Oh,
I have
see.
three grandkids and one that should be here within a
Oh,
day or
so
so.
you don't do anything.
It's my wife's
He
problem.
does it all.
Yep.
She does it all, right?
Everything.
Everything. Okay.
I think I spent about $1,200 on Christmas this year.
Really?
I think that's about how much it was.
I
But
spent $800 on Christmas. I had to pay my super and his three workers. And this year I decided to pay them more than I did last year. I usually gave each of the workers 50. This time I gave them each 100.
good boy.
And I gave the super, who I usually give 300 to, 500. And here's the thinking on it. Number one, I can afford it. But secondly, more than that, this has been a bad year for people. And, you know, these people should get more money than they got last year. Now, how many people do you think in this apartment house, Marjorie, actually tip the super?
I don't know.
How many of you out there rent? Would you raise your hand? How many? Well, let me ask this: how many here have a super of some sort?
Yeah.
Comes and fixes stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. How do you tip them? No.
Yeah, my building has like 20 or so people
Oh,
that we have to tip.
20?
Because we're
What?
at least 20. We
So what
have
do
a super, we have an assistant super, we have a building manager, we have doormen, we have porters, we have handymen.
Is that Trump Tower?
We live in the
No, but
Ritz.
it's a, you know, but it's like a high rise type deal. So there's like
Mm.
there's a whole city of people down there, and you know.
Wow. At Trump Tower, you tip everybody, then they
We only have-
give the big to him.
Yeah.
I have my super and his three helpers, you know, or as we call them, the elves, who help him, and that's pretty much it. you
Yeah.
know. But that's why this apartment house stinks, because we don't have you got now. So what do you do if you've got 20 people you got to give a year-end tip to? What do you do? Like $20 to each of them, or?
No, it's sort of one of those like yearly expenses. We just kind of figure that it's going to really hurt, and like the super will get, whatever. My husband really takes care of it, but he gives them like 150, and then, the like their their like main doorman. He'll give them like 80. Like it's a lot. It's expensive.
Oh,
Like the whole thing comes out to a lot of money. But you know what? It's kind of worth it
oh yeah.
because we have no problems, knock wood, like with anything. So
Well, with the money I give my guys, my super, whenever something's wrong here, I call him
yeah,
and he hangs up, and the next thing I know, he's at the front door. You know.
right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then people say to me in the building, well, gee, I don't like the super. He never does anything for me. Well, do you tip him at the end of the year? No. Well,
Yeah.
I got news for you. You know, just give him a little money. He'll
Right.
appreciate it and he'll be there. You know,
I
otherwise,
was going to tip myself, but I didn't want to be disappointed in how little the amount would be.
what?
I was going to tip myself, but I was going to be disappointed in how little the amount would be, so I just didn't do it.
Oh, yeah. Is how many people here actually own the place they're in?
Mine's a condo.
It's a condo, but you own it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's see here. I guess Edward, you pay rent?
Nope. I own the house.
Oh, you own the house. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else? How many people here don't own the place they're in? Okay. So, Charlene, you pay rent for where you are, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Why didn't you ever buy a house after all these years? I'll give you my answer, but
We were never in the position to do that. And then at some point, then it was just like we're older and
yeah, it's just easier to rent and have somebody else take care.
yes, it is. It is at this point. Yeah.
Yeah. I never rented because I always felt that with
Never
my
owned.
job, I could lose it any day. It was all dependent on ratings and things like that. And then if I owned a place, what do I do with it? You know, or I probably wouldn't have paid it off. It would have taken 20, 30 years to pay off. But why didn't I do it? I'm sorry I didn't do it when I went to San Francisco because I was there long enough that I would have owned the place, you know. But I just never did it because I didn't want. Marjorie, you never owned a house, did you?
Yeah, I own my apartment downtown.
Oh, yes, you did. Yes, but
I
that's the
still
first.
own it.
Okay, but is that the first time you ever bought the place you lived in?
Yeah.
Yeah, see? She and I are a lot alike.
What I have found out is that there's no free lunch. If you own a house, you have to do the maintenance of the house.
Yeah,
If you rent, you're a victim of whatever the management does. If you own a condo, it doesn't solve all the problems because you know, like if you have to put a new roof on your condominium, you know, then you're part of that deal.
it's your deal.
So, you know, no free lunch.
Well, Marjorie owns a place, still does, rents it out, and it costs her a lot of money just to rent it out.
Yeah, when there's a change in renters, I have to paint it. I have to do the special thing for the bathroom and all kinds of stuff.
I think you get to an age like we are at this point where we go, that's too much trouble.
It is.
You know, it's just too much trouble. My business manager told her, no, keep it. And I'm beginning to think, Marjorie, sell when your time is up
Absolutely.
with this guy.
His lease is up in June. I'll give him right of first refusal.
Yeah. Because
What part of town is it in?
hmm?
What part of town is it in?
It's just
Upper West Side.
it's maybe 20 blocks away from here.
Yeah, it's on the west side.
Yeah. So I mean, it's you know, it's a good little apartment, but it's a small apartment, and she's had it for God, I don't know how long you've had it.
A while.
Because I've known you.
Yeah.
And she bought it, and then when she moved in with me, she rented the thing out. And then she finally paid the thing off, what, a couple of years ago. So it's all
more than that. Yeah.
you know, not worth a fortune, but it's worth a bit, you know. So it was a good investment at the time. And then Vernon Nunn down in Kentucky again?
I've never left.
Oh, I thought somebody here said you went somewhere else.
I thought you were
No,
in
that was
Carolina.
Lynn. That was Lynn, I think, went to North Carolina.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the house that we're living in, my wife's mom bought it in 1962.
Really? Really? And so you never got rid of it. You like it?
No, we lived in Mobile, Alabama for 3.5 years, and we bought a house down there when we were living down there. But her dad was still alive, and he was living in the house at the time. When we came back about 6 months later, he passed away. So we moved into the house, and we've been here ever since.
And how long is that?
We came back from Alabama in 1986.
Wow. So that's I don't know, I can't add 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
38 years ago. But this room that I'm in, we built when my son was a teenager, and he just turned 45. We built this bedroom. This is in the basement. This is in one corner of the basement, and we walled it off and made that his bedroom when he was a teenager. And now it's my ham shack.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that a trip, Vernon, just to say that your kid is 45?
Yeah,
It's a
and he just got married last June.
Wow. They
What?
really wait a long time, that generation.
Really? Was there a point at which you thought he might be gay?
No,
Oh, okay.
my daughter turns 40 in April, and she's still single.
Really? Wow.
She's going on a retreat to the Dominican Republic with a bunch of her friends for her 40th birthday.
Wow. Well, has she come close to getting married at all?
She's used the L word a couple of times with guys that she's dated, and although she hasn't done so,
What the L word could either be love or lesbian. Which
the first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the boyfriend she has now, they've been seeing each other for a while, and I think she thinks a lot of him. So, we'll see.
You know what happens? The older you get, and I think Marjorie could probably agree with this. The older you get, the less you think about marrying the person. You just don't mind just living with them.
Also, your criteria level goes down.
What are you saying, Marjorie?
What are you
saying?
What you're looking for now, that's for sure.
Yeah, Alex, I'll take him. It's that time of my life. I don't want to be alone. So, yeah.
You don't have to do all those things to impress the other one. You don't have to do all those things to impress the other one.
Yes, right, exactly. So, I thought it was, but Marjorie, why did we get married?
Because I asked you.
Yeah, that was it. It was leap year day.
It was leap year. I arranged the wedding.
Well, what did you have to arrange? You called this woman who lived up in Lake Tahoe.
Married us.
At the last minute, we got all that stuff together.
And for a little bit extra, she did all the photos.
She took photos of us. Yeah, the whole thing. Yeah, and then we signed the marriage agreement, the license at a McDonald's. At a McDonald's. So it was,
You use their crayons.
You know something? I got to tell you, that made it all the more memorable.
Totally.
Like who can say they signed their marriage license at a McDonald's? Okay.
But you didn't get married on Leap Day. You proposed on Leap Day, right?
She proposed on Leap Day.
Yeah.
And then we were going out. Shecky was going out too. We were going to California to go see a showing of Napoleon with a symphony orchestra. It's a silent film. It's a 5.5 hour silent film.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
By Abel Gance.
It took a lunch break.
And it is one of the most spectacular films you've ever seen. But
it is with the
it was
full
done
orchestra.
like they would do it in New York City with a full symphony orchestra playing the film score written by this guy who does a lot of silent film scores.
It was great.
Davies, first name. What's first name? Davis, Carl Davis. And it was Marjorie went in 5.5 hour. Well, okay, I'll go with you. So she decided at the last minute. I found her a seat a couple of rows away from us, and after it was over, she was just you were blown away, weren't you?
It was mind-boggling. It was the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, and it's a great film. And at the very end, the last half hour, the screen opens up, and it's a three screens basically. And it was like an early version of what later became Cinerama. And it is, and oh, the music playing. It was just wonderful. It was
great.
And then
And we got married.
well, we got married in Lake Tahoe. I decided to take you up to Lake Tahoe, and then I said, as long as we're there, why don't we get married?
No, I said that.
I could have sworn I said it. Okay. Give me
I don't know if you remember that.
You just thought you said it, right?
Hey, well, we bought the rings before we went up there, right? And then we got and we drove
to dime and bought the flowers in the supermarket.
Well, I love Lake Tahoe because I'm driving up there because it's like a what a 2.5, 3 hour drive.
And it was snowing.
Huh?
It was snowing.
It was snowing. Well, no, it was snowing going back, not when we went up there. And we just felt, we decided to do it. And so you went to the Safeway, I think, and you bought flowers.
Or flowers.
Yeah.
We got the rings at like a 5 and dime.
No, we didn't. We got them at a Zales or someplace like that.
Jeweler in a mall.
It's just a band, is what it is. I didn't give you an engagement ring.
No.
Do you want me to buy you one?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't want another one of those things. Hey, you never got me an engagement ring. I mean, she always gave me. I still hear to this day. You never picked me up at the.
Oh no!
It's true. It's true.
And I keep telling her, well, you didn't take me down when I had my kidney stones, and I wound up in the hospital for 4 days.
Yeah, but I picked
you
up.
didn't take me down there. But that doesn't count as much as you didn't pick me up from the hospital, right?
Stop fighting, Mom and Dad.
You were doing so well, both of you.
Yeah. Now we want a divorce.
No, I mean like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
We're doing fine. We do fine. We love arguing as part of our relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a part of every marriage relationship, for crying out loud. Charlene, do you and your husband argue?
I argue.
Yeah. How about if I'm getting too personal, just tell me to screw off. But Francine, do you and your husband argue?
Not like big arguments, like little, back and forth things, but not where we yell at each other. That's like every so often we will do that, but
yeah. I mean, I consider when you're really arguing, the definition of really arguing is if one person or the other says, shut the fuck up. Or uses some swear word in going. Marjorie's always good at that with me. She suddenly will get really bothered by something and just tell me to shut the fuck up. And I do. It works. Yeah. She has a thing. If I snore, she pulls my pillow.
Well, yeah, to get him to turn his head.
Yeah. And does it work?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. I just push you. and you stop snoring for a while.
I move my head.
And then you're back to it again. Yeah. How about you? You argue with your wife, Mike?
As little as humanly possible. I'm not. I try not to be the arguer. I'm a peace and love guy. My wife is very fiery, and so we try very, very hard not to. I would put my our level in the same as Francine's. I think it's about the same, you know.
I
Little
don't
ones
see-
here and there, every once in a while, a big one where she'll tell me to shut the fuck up, and that's about it.
Yeah, but you see, I mean, I don't see how two people could live together. Love has nothing to do with it. Live together and not get on each other's nerves every now and then. You know?
Well, I just accept it that that's going to happen, but we don't argue about it.
We don't argue about it, right?
It's like, okay, you're on my nerves. You know, that's about it. Like, go
Scott,
away.
you and your wife argue?
No, not at all. When I get angry, I guess I just go quiet. I just shut up. I just ignore her and whatnot. But
You know something, what I'm noticing here, there's a trend among the guys, and it's a good trend. That when we get into an argument with our wives, we shut up. Guys always want to just end it. Let's stop it. Let's get it over with, you know.
I would,
Huh?
I was gonna say, I would answer the question, but if my wife were to hear my answer, I might start an argument.
Well, but you learn early on that the woman is always right, guys?
Never.
And
Yeah.
rather than argue about it, you know. How about you, Len? You argue with your wife?
You know, our 10th anniversary is this Friday coming up.
Uh-huh.
And we rarely have had a crossword. I mean, literally.
Really?
You know, we joke about stuff. You know, I'll tell, fix my dinner, woman. You know, whatever, and you know, she'll look at me and flip me off or something, and that's the end of it. You know, we play, we laugh. It's all good.
Yeah. Marjorie, you and I argue a lot.
Normal,
Normal. Yeah.
whatever normal is.
Yeah. And Vernon, I don't know if I asked you.
Yeah, the problem is she seldom takes yes for an answer. You know, I want to just end it and go on and watch the
Guys
football game,
always
and
want
she
it.
just keeps going yada 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 yada. And I'm like, can't you accept yes for an answer?
She doesn't watch this show, does she?
But the fact is that guys always want to end the argument.
Right.
You know, and guys, I think, are not, doesn't bother them to say, okay, honey, I was wrong.
But they never say it.
I say
I do. I do.
You do?
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If I say,
doesn't end the argument.
that, she still wants to keep it going.
But yeah, well, because she's got to keep it going, but you let her wear out, and then you're back to happiness and peace again. You know.
I think the three smartest words that a man can learn when it comes to dealing with his female significant other is "I hear you."
Oh, good. Yeah, that's good.
What was that?
Marjorie?
What was it?
Now
hear
you know.
What was
I
that?
hear you.
I hear you.
I would burst out laughing if my husband said that to me. That man does not hear a thing. And that's why I argue.
All right, what was that?
We hear it. We just don't.
Right.
Wow.
My wife would say, "Are you drunk?"
Yeah. But it's you know, and yet we get married, don't we? You know, this is my fourth time. This is Marjorie's third. We haven't learned yet. But we're lucky. We got it right this time, didn't we, dear?
I think so.
Okay.
Oh God.
We'll see.
Guys, I hate to say it. I gotta go pick up my granddaughter. I don't hate to say that. I love picking her up, but I hate missing part of this show. Did anybody else watch the Golden Globes last night?
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like Nikki a lot. I think that I think it was canned and whatnot, but I really like Nikki a lot, and I thought she did a pretty good
I
job.
thought she did a fine job. I thought she did. She worked on it, and most of her stuff landed. The problem I have with a awards show like that is when they write these dumb interplays between the two stars giving
Exactly. That was
Just
awful.
forget about that. And I think at some point during the show they actually said to people, don't do that one. We're not going to give that to you anymore. Because
Did you like Seth and Catherine though?
What?
Did you like Seth Rogen and Catherine O'Hara?
Slightly.
Yeah.
Too
Well,
far.
they're funny.
Funnier.
Too much of it. you know.
Yeah.
Should have been
Plus the
funnier.
awards. We saw the movie with Demi Moore the other day. Okay, man, it's a fun horror film,
Okay.
with a pretty lame ending. All right, uh, but giving her Best Actress of the Year, what, for being naked through half the film?
What's the name of this again?
Yeah.
What was it? What was it called? It was called I don't know, something. I forget the title of it now. Wait a minute, I can go find it for you here in a moment.
Half of it?
You know what I was struck with?
Are
No,
you, wait, you, that's the title, The Substance, it's called.
Substance.
Oh,
Substance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Substance?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
was struck with how many people I didn't know and how many movies I'd never heard of
Me
or TV
too.
shows.
Well,
Me too.
the substance had no substance at all. But I mean, she was fine. She did a decent job of showing her tits, throughout the whole.
Why was it
And
called The Substance? What's that about?
it's about a woman who feels that she's aging. She's in television and she's aging, and she gets this ability to use this substance, which will make
Makes
her
her
younger.
younger.
Uh-huh.
And it's a horror film, okay? And she was fine, but there were
She's
better
a horror?
performances last year. I thought this film, what was it? Anora, which is I thought was a good film. Marjorie wasn't
I
crazy
thought it
about
was okay.
but I think
Great.
that anybody ever see Better Things, a TV show
Yeah.
about the mothers with the three daughters? Well, this girl played one of the daughters, the oldest daughter in that show. And she's terrific. You have to agree, she was terrific in that film, right, Marjorie?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was really terrific. And the awards, yes, who cares? It's the Golden Globes. It's a bunch of foreign correspondents who, because they can't earn money being the foreign correspondents, they work as waiters in Hollywood, and I think there are a few more than there were years past to make it more interesting, but I call it the phony fuck awards, which it is basically. I don't know if the Oscars are much better anymore, but what films didn't you know about? Any?
I don't remember the names, but I mean, there's a lot of them I'd never heard of.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I heard of them, because we've watched a lot of them to try to keep up. But I'll tell you, I watched a film the other day, and I thought was just mediocre beyond belief. And it's called Wicked.
Yes.
It is absolutely, am I right? It's absolutely mediocre.
We turned it off. We turned it off.
Except for Cynthia Erivo. Except
Yeah,
for Cynthia Erivo, who is always spectacular and can blow anybody off the stage. And is, by the way, one award away. Do you know this? From having an EGOT.
Yep.
If she wins the Oscar this year, she's got an EGOT.
The company that did all the toys for that movie
Yeah.
put the wrong website address on the toys for wicked.com, which is, I
That's
guess,
right.
a porn company.
You're right. You're right. Yes, I heard that story.
Yeah.
There was a porn outfit named Wicked, and they had Wicked.com, and Wicked they try to get Wicked.com, but they didn't.
They just they had a web address, but they put the wrong one on the packaging.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Packaging became a package.
It probably something like wickedmovie.com or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. That's terrific. But anyway, so
Educating our
I
youth.
thought it was, anybody here else beside I and Francine see Wicked?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. I saw it in the movies.
Oh, yeah.
In the movie theater. I don't know, maybe that might make
Because
it
you
different.
wanted to sing along.
I thought it was extremely well done. I thought the music was great. I never saw it on the stage, so I don't have
Well,
any.
the work on the film, it's a beautiful film.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous looking. But I just felt that as a musical, most of the music was absolutely subpar.
Right,
And there are two hit songs in that whole movie, and
right,
those all take place in Act One of the play, which is what they did at this movie. Part two
right.
is going to be the second act, and there's no hit music out of the second act. So
Huh.
people are starting to think they probably wrote some music for it to make it better, you know. But
I didn't even make it through the trailer.
It works. Wicked works better on the stage. That's what I thought. I
Yeah.
saw it on Broadway last year or whatever, and the songs are very, because of the confined space,
Yeah.
they're much tighter. Every number was like, oh my God, this is,
Yeah.
the movie is like, this is going to take another 10 minutes.
Hey, listen, he's got to go out into the snow. Go have a good time with your granddaughter, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, guys. There's no snow up here right now, but we're
right.
gonna have a good time
Okay.
nonetheless. Have a
Bye-bye.
fantastic week. Love you guys.
See you,
Bye-bye.
Mike.
You say you saw the Broadway show.
Yes.
So am I right? The second act doesn't have any great songs in it.
No, it doesn't. It's like Popular and Defining Gravity are the two big songs
Yeah. And do they
that people
redo it
would
in the
know.
second? Do they redo them?
No, they're in the
second
first
act?
act. They're in the first act. And
Yeah.
but the first act was like an hour or an hour and 15 minutes. Like it wasn't 3 hours like the movie.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful film, all that. Cynthia
Yeah,
Erivo is terrific. Ariana Grande, I can't take.
She looks ill.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But I mean, Cynthia Erivo, she's a talent who's been around for a couple of years now and just doing exquisite work. And she was very good in this because nobody can come close to her. But
You can look up some of what she's done on YouTube videos with other songs.
yes,
She's amazing. She's
she's got an
absolutely
amazing voice. She is an amazing actress. Okay,
Yeah.
she's got it all. But she's one shy of an EGOT, so I hope she wins the Oscar, and she can consider herself an EGOT winner. And she'd be pretty young. She's only what 40, I think she is. But I just felt you felt like I mean I just felt it was a mediocre film, and Marjorie's happy I'm saying that because I was trying to get her to watch it with me and she wouldn't. So, but you've gotten to watch a lot of other great stuff, right, Marjorie?
It's a lot of stuff lately.
Yeah, Honora is, I think, a pretty good little film. The more I think about it, I think if you went back and watched it again, you might agree with me. The performance by this, what's her name? Mickey Mouse. I don't know what her last name is. But she's terrific. She's terrific in it. And she was nominated for Best Actress last night. But of course, she wasn't going to win because we had to give it to Demi Moore.
Demi Moore.
Demi?
Demi, yes.
Oh,
That's
excuse
how
me.
she pronounced. No, I'm just being, yeah.
Yeah.
She'll
Excuse
correct you.
I always think of her as Demi Moore, like, Demi is smaller than a semi. Charlie, what's happening down in Texas?
It's cold.
In Texas?
It was 26 degrees when I went out to my doctor's appointment this morning.
Really? I don't.
Yeah.
Do I remember it ever getting that cold?
Yes, it's been in the teens, Alex.
What?
Not this year.
In Texas.
In Texas. Yeah. Well, how about you? Where is he? Oh, there he is. Scott. Well, how's the weather? How is it cold here?
A little colder. It's like 21 this morning when I woke up. Yeah.
Really? I always remember Texas is unbearably hot. That's what I remember. Is Houston warmer?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Coastal effect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had 10 inches of snow last night.
That's cold.
Yeah. Well,
And it's supposed to get down to 9 degrees tonight.
Oh, really? Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah, well, if it got down to 9 degrees here, we'd know it because the landlord finally turns the heat on.
You gotta tip him too.
I had to finally call my super and say, "Where's the heat?" It was like 31 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there was no heat coming up. And he said, "I can't do anything about it because the landlord controls the heat from Brooklyn."
Jeez.
So I went, "Okay, well, would you inform them that it's the law that anything under 55 degrees outside, you have to turn the heat on. Otherwise, you're in violation of the law." And he said, "I know that." But, poor guy, he has to work for these people. How many our landlords generally pretty much suck in New York City? Am I right? Do you agree with that assessment, Edward?
Well, I never had a landlord.
Oh, I see. Okay. So you've always owned your place?
Right.
Right. What'd you buy it outright or did you pay for
No,
it?
I got this from my mother because
Oh, I see.
we
Okay.
lived all together. My mother and father, my father passed away. Then a couple of years ago, my mother passed away, and so I was the only one left. So
Yeah.
it's mine.
Okay. So it's yours now.
Yeah.
Wow. How old is where you're living? How old is the place?
Oh, I think they built it in the 50s, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what happens if you ever sell it? Where are you located?
In Flushing, right by Fresh Meadows.
You're
It's
right
almost fresh. It's almost Fresh Meadows.
You're in
That's
that Chinese neighborhood, Flushing.
Yeah.
You know what's going to happen if you ever leave that house or you ever
Oh,
dead?
yeah, they're going to tear it down.
Level it down and make it into one of
yeah.
those McMansions.
Right. Right.
You know, that's terrible. Like if I die, they're going to tear down this entire building. This building, we were just watching a documentary on the 1900 World's Fair in Paris and what they built for it, which was phenomenal. They built these phenomenal buildings. In fact, they built this one that had a glass roof that was the tallest in all of Europe. But anyway, I was thinking about it and go 1900, right? Wow, that's a long time ago. And then I realized this place I'm sitting in right now was built in 1900.
Yeah.
They really knew how to put up a building in 1900.
Yes.
Yeah.
What'd you
They
think?
really knew how to put up a building in those days.
Well, yeah, this thing is phenomenal.
Didn't you say that they decided on the height based on how high an elevator could get up to?
Well, that was part of the consideration. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who'd want to
The
walk up
sister
8
building, these are 8 floors, and the sister building is 12.
And the reason is that during that space of time, electricity came in and they had electric elevators. And before then, you could only build an elevator as high as the water table in Manhattan, which is about 8 floors, because water was driving it. And by the way, we're almost at the end of the show, and guess who's just calling?
Oh, no.
Come on. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. He probably watches the whole show.
Of course. Of course.
It's got 2 minutes left. I think I'll call. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the man who's having lunch with me tomorrow.
For real?
No. What? What are you looking at me for?
I thought we were.
I've got a doctor's appointment tomorrow.
So do I. When's yours?
Mine's at 2.
Nope.
Are you really going to the doctor tomorrow?
Nope.
Oh,
I was going to your place, but I guess not.
in other words, you say. Well, listen, we're having Italian food tonight. You want to come over?
Okay.
Set another table for Marjorie.
Set another table? Like that was the children's table?
Well, you're getting the picture. So how are you? How was your New Year's?
As uneventful as everyone else's.
Did you
In
go
fact,
out?
I completely forgot about your little New Year's bash
Yeah.
until around 15 after 12, then I couldn't find you.
Really?
And then I found you like at 1:30. So
What do you mean? We went on at 12:30 at 11:30.
yeah, I know, but for some reason I couldn't find it, and I don't know why. But then I found it. I found it after you had put it up at like 1:30.
Well, it automatically goes up after
Yeah.
we're through.
So I was there in spirit just a couple hours later.
Well, that's nice. We missed you.
I bet you did.
Yeah. Didn't I say to you, Marjorie? We miss
Don.
Yeah.
Who?
Juan.
Juan.
We miss
Did you say
Juan.
it?
Huh?
Did you say it?
I think you were.
She didn't say it.
She was asleep by then.
Yeah. So you're lying again.
Well, I just wanted to make you feel good.
Yeah. Now I feel bad.
So, do you have any last words for us? Because we're almost through here.
I thought you started at 5.
Daylight saving time.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're on daylight saving time. That's
what it is.
That's a problem.
Yeah, that's why I just finished breakfast.
It's actually time for me to say goodbye to everybody. First of all, Marjorie, thank you so much. Is the food getting cold?
Hasn't arrived.
What hasn't arrived yet? Oh, good. Then it'll be warm.
Are you complete? Are you all better now, Marjorie?
No.
Oh.
We're
But
investigating.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you.
Well, someone had to.
No, I'm planning the funeral right now. You know.
Oh, jeez.
Check the will.
You know, so lately I've been like in the middle of the night. She's sleeping. She's so still. I push her a little bit and put a mirror up to her mouth to just. Okay. Yeah. But I love her dearly, and thank you for joining us, Marjorie. I know.
You're welcome.
I know it hasn't been easy today. And Charlene, always a pleasure to have you here. Len LaFrisco. What would I do without Len LaFrisco? Always
You'd be
want
better off.
people trying to call. Andrew Deutsch. Hilarious, Andrew. Good talking to you. You know who hasn't said a word today, and we haven't asked a question of John Ewing. Hello, John.
How you doing, Alex?
You and your wife ever argue?
Kind of rarely. We've been together so long.
In the beginning, did you argue more than you did later on?
Early we argued, yeah, but it's kind of mellowed out over the years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you've gone deaf.
Who did we lose here?
I think Andrew, wasn't it?
Is it Andrew? Oh, we lost Andrew. Yeah, well, I said goodbye to him already. Francine Witt, good seeing you, kiddo.
Good seeing you.
Todd Boddicker, always a pleasure. Charlie Wallace, we love having you here. And what does it say on your
Oh, just may the force be with you.
Oh, okay. And
equals MA.
Paula, thank you very much for being with us. The lovely and attractive Vernon Nunn. And there's nobody better in the whole world, ladies and gentlemen, than Mr. Geiler. I've enjoyed having you here. Oh, excuse me, I pronounced it wrong. It's Don Diller.
Gilmore.
Don Gilmore. Thanks, Don. Appreciate it. And of course, we got to finish off, as we always do, with the immortal words of Edward Berger, who says,
"That's all, folks."
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a nice week. See you next week. Bye.